We spend a lot of time looking up at the night sky, waiting for rare alignments. But one highly anticipated astronomical event of the decade isn't a product of gravity or orbital mechanics. It's a 70-year-old typographical error. Take a look at this astronomical chart classifying rare lunar events. On May 31, 2026, millions of people will step outside to see a blue moon, but it won't be blue. In fact, because the moon will be near apogee, its farthest point from Earth, it will actually be a micromoon, looking noticeably smaller and dimmer than normal. The real issue happening up there is a strict mathematical mismatch between the cosmos and our human timekeeping. A true lunar cycle, the time it takes the moon to run through all its phases, takes exactly 29.5 days. Our Gregorian calendar months run for 30 or 31 days. Every month, the moon finishes its lap about a day and a half short of our calendar. Those leftover days begin to pile up. The friction between our rigid grids and the reality of the solar system creates a scheduling glitch. The blue moon is entirely a human calendar invention. That extra day and a half each month compounds. Over the course of about 2.5 years, the calendar accumulates enough surplus days that it squeezes a 13th full moon into a standard 12-month year. For astronomers, an extra moon in a year is just a mathematical inevitability, but for the early Christian church, it was an absolute crisis. Entire ecclesiastical holidays, primarily Lent and Easter, were dictated by the specific timing of seasonal moons. An uninvited 13th moon threw off the sequence, pushing holy days out of their correct seasons. The Maine Farmer's Almanac solved this. When an astronomical season contained 4 full moons, they labeled the third a betrayal moon, a blue moon, so the others kept their holiday names. This strict seasonal failsafe kept religion aligned with the solar system. Which raises a question, regardless of our calendar math, does the moon ever actually turn blue? The answer is yes, but to witness it, you need catastrophic planetary chaos. In 1883, the Krakatoa volcano in Indonesia erupted with a 19-megaton explosion. Decades earlier, in 1815, Mount Tambora suffered a similarly massive blowout. In the nights following both of these historic disasters, survivors looked up and saw a moon that was undeniably, vividly blue. When volcanic ash or incredibly dense wildfire smoke saturates the stratosphere, it acts as a massive physical filter. The ash particles scatter away the longer red wavelengths of moonlight, allowing only the shorter blue light waves to pass through and reach our eyes. A true physical blue moon demands catastrophic destruction here on Earth. That global devastation is a stark contrast to the completely harmless calendar event we anticipate today. And that brings us back to the May 2026 blue moon. Most of the world defines a blue moon simply as the second full moon occurring within a single calendar month. But that definition, the one practically everyone uses, is completely wrong. The modern understanding traces back to a single man named James Hugh Pruitt, an amateur astronomer who wrote an article for Sky and Telescope magazine in 1946. Pruitt attempted to explain the Maine Farmer's Almanac and its complex seasonal moon math to his readers. He completely misunderstood it. Instead of explaining the third moon in a season of 4, he accidentally published the wrong rule, stating that a blue moon was simply the second moon in a calendar month. The media ran with Pruitt's mistake. It was easy to understand, easy to track, and it quickly became embedded in pop culture. Over the decades, that simple typo inspired the famous Elvis Presley song, countless jazz standards, and eventually a wildly popular craft beer. It's an interesting evolution for a phrase that started out in a 1520 pamphlet criticizing the Roman clergy. Back then, to say "the moon is blue" literally meant something was impossible. Over hundreds of years, the definition shifted from impossible to rare and finally landed on an accepted, predictable calendar quirk. Astronomically speaking, a month with 2 full moons is meaningless, yet we still look up. We are so driven to find patterns and meaning in the universe that we will write songs, brew beer, and gather under the night sky just to celebrate our own beautiful mistakes. It leaves you wondering, when we stare into space, are we seeing the universe as it really is? Or are we just seeing the stories we invented about it? Let us know what you think down in the comments, and subscribe for more decoded space myths.